What's going on, people? Harry here, and I just wanted to talk to you guys about what is going on with TDS right now. It's not really an update, it's a beta. It's the matchmaking beta that you can now access in the TDS lobby. I want to go over some of the things that Raz has said in the TDS Discord about it, and give you guys my kind of general opinions and thoughts on it. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Every time I come in a lobby, I just have to run for my life, man. I'm gonna get mobbed here. These people will suffocate me if I stop running. So as you guys have probably seen in some other TDS YouTubers videos that, yeah, there has been some changes to the game. Right now, when you go into a lobby, you're going to see this little button in the top center part of the screen that says Matchmaking Beta. And if you guys have been playing the game for about a year, then you should be having deja vu right now, because the hardcore update went into beta for a couple of months before it was officially released. And it was basically the same setup. You had a button that you clicked on and you were teleported to the hardcore lobby where you could then play the game and test it out. So let me just go ahead and click on that and go in here and show you what it looks like. But first, let me go ahead and read this note that you see on the screen. It says, "Global matchmaking is the future of Tower Defense Simulator. This system will eventually replace the elevators, and we're ready to launch a limited public beta after working on it for 2.5 weeks. You'll note that each server can only have one person. This is due to our matchmaking system, which pairs users from all the servers. Go ahead and get started by clicking the play button. Who can test it? People that are level 120 or above will be able to test the first version of matchmaking, and ultimately people with levels 50 and above will be able to test it as well. For testing, we're going to be using an older user interface that was created in early 2021. This is not a final product, expected to be far from perfect." So these levels have been changed according to what Raz said in the Discord, so I'm going to go over that in a second. Why are we putting this to the test? Before completely launching this system, we want to make sure it's bulletproof. Further updates such as the PvP update we've been working on for the past 4 months require matchmaking in order to ensure that matches are fair and balanced. The term skill-based matchmaking is widely used to describe this process. Okay, so what is going on here is that we're basically in the elevator that we've been seeing for, it could be a year now. I have to go back and look and see when the original images and videos of this elevator were posted. I feel like it's been close to a year that we've been seeing images of this elevator. So that is how this beta starts, and honestly, I'm not exactly sure what the point of this test is, because the most important thing from the new matchmaking update, at least from what I understood, was being able to select who you want to play with in the lobby before getting into an elevator. There's no elevators, right? It's not going to be random anymore. You're basically going to be able to get together with your team and then load into this elevator. And so I think that's kind of what he was saying earlier, was that this server right now only holds one person, then it puts you together with other people. So they're just testing one very specific part of the matchmaking update. So yeah, this is nowhere near the most important aspect of the new matchmaking system, because we need to be able to pick who we're going to play with. And we can't do that right now. As you're going to see, it's just random. So there are 3 images on screen right here that you could choose from. Survival is the only one that's available to me, but this is definitely hardcore right here. And right below that, we have the Frost event. Okay, so you can't click on either one of those. I'll click on survival, and then I'm going to select if I want to play solo or a duo, trio, or a quad. And once I click on one of those, it's just going to automatically put me into an elevator with some other people that are waiting, and it's going to just send us right into a game. So I'm not going to show you guys the game because I did already test this. I wanted to see if there were any other differences with the game. Another big thing I wanted to note here is that even though I didn't make a video about the envelope on the ground, apparently this is what it was about, because you can see it up there in the matchmaking beta icon that the envelope is up there now, and it's no longer on the ground anywhere in the lobby. So I guess it was supposed to be some kind of hint that this beta was coming. It would have been a lot cooler if the envelope was like leading up to the actual release of matchmaking, but apparently it was just an invitation to this beta that we're having right now. So that is pretty much it, guys, for the showing you the elevator and what's going on with the beta and what's going on with matchmaking and everything. So let me go ahead and hop over to the Discord so that I could go over all of this info, because this is the important info that I don't think most of y'all have access to because you're just on YouTube and you're not in their Discord server. Once again, you can see the envelope here as an icon on their Discord. So this is what the envelope was about. It was for this public matchmaking beta. That's it. So let me start with reading through what Raz has said here. Note, this is not an update, just a public beta test. A small amount of users will receive access to test this feature. It's extremely experimental. More information is going to come out later today or tomorrow in a formal announcement. We must test this feature prior to launching a bigger update in the upcoming months. And then later that day, he says some info on online matchmaking. We are not pairing players based on their local server. We're going to use a global queue, so you often get paired with players on other servers. Down the road, we're going to be implementing skill-based matchmaking. So this is some of the stuff that he's already said. If you load into the matchmaking beta elevator and you see the note that he's put on there, he's saying the same thing here. And then he goes on to say, you'll be punished if you disconnect from the game before you lose to avoid taking a hit on your score. This may lower your trust level, meaning you get lower quality matches. That's an interesting idea. So he goes on here to say that people with level 120 will be able to test the first version of matchmaking, and ultimately people with level 5 are going to be able to test it as well. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here because he does change that. Yeah, right here he says, I modified it so people that are level 10 and above are able to join. You no longer need to be a level 20, okay? So if you are level 10 or above, that's why you're able to get in there. You're not hacking. It's supposed to be that way. All right, let me go ahead and skip down to the bottom so you can read this Q&A that he's got here. Here are some of the most frequently asked questions about matchmaking. Why does it randomly select a map? We're temporarily selecting random maps just for testing. When matchmaking is fully released, you're going to be able to vote on a map. Okay, good, because that's one of the two main things that I'm looking for. Let me go ahead and see what he says down here. Why can I not click on solo mode? When this functionality is enabled, clicking solo immediately starts a match. When you use this option, you are not put through the matchmaking process. Have you turned on ranked matchmaking? This feature is not available yet, however, it will be available in the future. And here, yes, thank you. This is the other big part that I was hoping he would address. Why can I not party with my friends? Parties are going to be disabled in phase 1, and we're only testing matchmaking's raw capabilities. So yeah, that's basically what I thought. This is just one aspect of the upcoming update, okay? They just want to trim it down to its bare bones and be able to see how is this aspect going to do with a bunch of people joining. Is it going to work smoothly? And as you guys saw me join earlier, that was my second time joining, and yeah, it seems to be fine. It's not laggy, there's no glitches. Okay, again, he says right here, the skill-based portion of matchmaking is not enabled. It's just purely random matches. So you're going to be paired up with people that are all kinds of random levels. Now, there's a couple of other important things that he says that I want to go over. First off, he says this is an unfinished product. We're just testing a feature for an upcoming update, and we reserve the right to withdraw the public test at any time. In the near future, you may receive in-game incentives for participating in this testing. That is very interesting. You did get a badge for testing hardcore beta, so maybe you'll get a badge for testing matchmaking beta. Now he goes on and he says something else up here that is really interesting. By the way, this won't be fully replacing elevators until sometime later next year. So he's talking about late 2022, guys. So that's over a year away, which is very disappointing to hear, especially since I think that the game really needs it right now. I do understand that it's a bunch of work, but we've been talking about it for almost a year, and they're rolling out the testing for it today, and they're telling us that it's not going to be ready for at least another year. So I don't know what to think about that. A lot can happen in a year. I don't know if I'll even be making TDS videos in a year. I would like to think that he meant later this year, but because it's almost October, I don't think that's the case. So go ahead and get your popcorn ready, because we're going to be waiting for a long time. I am honestly most excited to get to the part of this beta testing where we can pick who we want to play with and pick which map we want to play on. If they do that, I will only play the beta, but right now I don't see any reason to do it more than once. You can't pick your map, you can't pick who you play with. I mean, I guess it's great for randoms who don't have anyone to play with. When I did it earlier, I actually beat Fallen with 2 random teammates. So anyways, let me know what what you guys think about this new matchmaking beta down in the comments below. Is it good? Is it bad? I mean, I have my own opinions, but I love to know what the community thinks because there are just so many of you little rascals running around out there. Please, all I ask is that you stop suffocating me in the lobby. I know you think I'm a god, but I am merely a man and I need air to breathe. And on that note, if you enjoy breathing air, go ahead and smash that like button with your forehead. If you think it's cool to be alive, hit that subscribe button with your big toe. And turn on notifications because yes, and I will see you next time. Take care, be safe, and never forget what I always say. Peace!